Of being a major league player, coach, and manager. Now, Sam, please join us for a presentation for the proclamation of Sam Perlazzo Week in Allegany County. Come on up.
This is very South Endish, isn't it?
There you are. And this is an official proclamation from us, and it says, whereas Samuel Benedict Perlazzo, native of Allegany County, was raised in Cumberland, respected as a natural athlete, and was a baseball and football star at Bishop Walsh, Perlazzo was awarded a full baseball scholarship to the George Washington University in Washington, D.C., excelled there during his college years, was an academic All-American, led the nation in stolen bases, and was named the baseball team's MVP. Perlazzo graduated from George Washington in 1973, was inducted in the GW Athletic Hall of Fame in 1986, and on George Washington Sports Executive Hall of Fame in 2007. Perlazzo made his major league debut on September 13, 1977, with the Minnesota Twins. Due to physical injuries, played his last major league game as a San Diego Padre on September 13, 1979. Described as a solid baseball man, very good committed baseball professional, Perlazzo joined the Baltimore Orioles in 1996 as third base coach and became bench coach in 2001. A dream come true, the pinnacle of Perlazzo's professional baseball career was being named manager of the Orioles, the leadership position he held from August 2005 to June of 2007. Perlazzo coached three All-Star games and 2 World Series. He was the third base coach in the 1990 World Series champion Cincinnati Reds. The Reds swept the World Series in 4 games over the defending champs and heavily favored Oakland A's. Perlazzo is a record 6-time winner of the top award given by the Dapper Dan Club of Allegany County, the George W. Stevenson Nicholas A. Perlazzo Memorial Award. Perlazzo has declared, "I love the game," and brought and continues to bring positive national media attention to Allegany County. Now, therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners, wish to highly commend Mr. Samuel Benedict Perlazzo. The highlight of his life proclaimed the first week of 2017 baseball season, Sunday, April 2nd through Saturday, April 8th, is Sam Perlazzo Week in Allegany County, and encourage all individuals to reflect on his achievements and contributions to our county. And that's signed Creed Brody, Bill Valentine, Jake Shake. Congratulations.
If you could turn the seal towards us, please. Thank you. Everyone's welcome to come up for photos. Thank you.
You want family?
Please get family up here and get a picture.
Beth? Beth.
Granddaughter.
Come on.
Come on, everybody.
Come on, Lily.
She's not shy.
Oh, no. Here, I'll hold you.
Please, hey, come on.
Everybody.
Around my side. Come on.
Come on, baby.
Maybe I'll, okay.
Come on, Bobby.
I've been waiting 25 years to get my picture with Frank. You know, scoot in here next to.
I think we got one good one.
Hope John Loft has a telescopic lens on that phone.
This one? Yes. Come here, baby.
Lily.
Come back, baby.
Leah, give one just for us four.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, Munchkin. Here, happy I'll hold you.
Come on up here. Oh, jeez. Better take them quick.
I take as quick as our old camera goes, I'll tell you. Okay. We have photoshopped. Thank you.
I was in a little better shape a few years ago.
Here you go. Got it? Okay.
Where are we going?
Go ahead.
To the podium, sir.
To the podium.
To the guest of honor position.
To the unveiling.
All to the unveiling. Go for it.
Oh, okay.
Well, come on, Jay.
Stay to the script.
want to unveil?
Go ahead.
Let's do the unveiling. How about that? We're going now.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to see this.
Next to Leo.
A younger picture, brother?
Yeah. What color was my hair? About 70 wins the season made it look like this. That's nice. Very nice.
Yep, perfect.
What was this?
Congratulations, please.
I got a few notes here, but first of all, I'd like to thank you commissioners and anyone that had part in that. That's really nice. I mean, I joined a little bit of good company, I see. This guy right here next to me, I lured away from the Atlanta Braves, and then he messed up everything in Baltimore. We all know pitching is everything, right? But that's, I look back and I see South End out here, don't I? Everyone's from South End. I know there's a couple of guys in here that got some names that they took the vowels away, but I know there's some vowels that Hardini. I look at this recognition and I can't tell you how much that means to you. You really can't in the long run. And Beth and I were talking about it on the way up, and I said, that's not really my recognition totally. I was born and raised here. I go back to my folks, Nick and Rose. We all know Nick and Rose. Dad was, he was constantly with me. Always told me, get your elbow up, boy, get your elbow up. That was the extent of my coaching type stuff. And now that's all I tell players, don't put your elbow up, don't put your elbow up. But he was there all the time. My folks, you get your values and who you are by the people that you hang with and the people that raise you. And, I wish Mom and Dad were here, but I got a lot of people out here that aided in whatever I am. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I think we did pretty good. So, my family, my kids, Lily, they're the people that made me, who I am. I had choices to make, and I made choices for those people, because they were the stone that I needed as I grew as a person. So when I look at all that and I go, it's a great recognition, and I really am impressed with the way things are. But I share this with each and every one of you out there, and I thank you dearly. It all started when I was in the Little League. I used to put on my uniform and walk around. I used to walk around town, out by the house. I had my Little League uniform on. I really thought I was cool. And you know what? I probably was pretty cool when it comes to times like that. There was nothing better than putting your uniform on and walking around, letting people see you. You thought you were, just to catch me out. And I got into that baseball. Dad got me in there when I was 7, pushed me, took care of me, and turned out to be a better football player in high school than anything else. And here I am with the baseball. But so it's most definitely a recognition that is shared. Can't say enough about how much I care for everyone here and love you. I spent 44 years, I think I've been in professional baseball. 44. And in '73, I had my first job as I was drafted by signed by the Minnesota Twins. And I've come full circle with Minnesota. I'm with Minnesota Twins right now. I'm the base running infield coordinator for the Twins in the minor leagues. So I started with Minnesota. I'm here with Minnesota now. Maybe end with them, who knows. But back in '77, I was called up to the major leagues as a September call-up. And as you may or may not know, probably don't know, my major claim to fame as a 1 month, 2 month player at the major league level. In 1977, it was the last game of the season. And it was the year Rod Carew. I don't know, people, some of these people should know who Rod Carew is. He was a 7-time American League batting champion. So we're going into the last game of the season. Gene Mock is our manager. He puts a lineup card on. It's Lyman Bostock. If you ever heard of Lyman Bostock, he had 199 hits. He needed 1 for 200. I hit second. I'm like, oh my God. Rod Carew hit third. He needs 1 RBI for 100. He's got 99 RBIs. So first thing in my mind was going, boy, oh boy, you better get this bunt down when Lyman gets a hit so Carew can get a knock. Well, lo and behold, Lyman goes 0 for. No hits. I'm like 0 for 3. Come in the dugout, and Gene Mock, the manager, comes over and he says, come here, Sam. He says, would you watch the pitcher? He says it was a left-hander that when he throws a split finger, and when he would push his fingers in to split, he'd flare his glove out like this. So if he doesn't flare it, it's a fastball. So you can sit fastball. I'm like, I wanted to say, could you told me before I went up the first? Did you have to be 0 for 3? So lo and behold, I get the hit. And sure enough, no flare, sit on a heater, hit a ball off the left center field wall. I got a standing up triple. Rod Carew comes up, bang, base hit. So there's my claim to fame. Rod Carew, his 100th RBI. That was my special. And he owed me dinner for like 20 years. I finally got it 2 years ago. So it was 44 years. I haven't spent it was like, until I got fired in Baltimore, I hadn't spent a summer at home since 1973. And we all go out, you go away on vacation, right? Your wife goes away, your husband goes away, it's 3 days, you can't take it, right? Wish you'd come back home. That's where I am, back home right now. But you go for a week, I miss him so much he comes back. I left home for 7 to 8 months for 40-some years. And when I came home to Cumberland, when I came home, I was glad to get home. This was home. I was playing in all these major league cities, but when I came home, this is where I wanted to be. Someone says, let's go someplace else. I spent all my time away. I want to be home. So it was 40-some years of that, and I appreciate the fact that you all go away, but I want you to know it was a sacrifice. I loved it dearly, but when it was time to come home, I was ready to come home, and that's where I am again today. I put 20, let's see, how did we say it? I had 26 consecutive years at the major league level. 26 consecutive, then I missed a year, and now I can't get back. It happens. If you'd have told me that a long time ago, I would have taken the 26 without a doubt. So it's been a real crazy ride for me. I've enjoyed it almost every minute of it. Done some things that come out of, I go back and say, look, I'm a little boy from Cumberland, Maryland. I'm an Allegany County kid. And I spent, if you'd have told me I was going to do those things, I got to go to cities, I got to coach in World Series, I got a couple World Series rings, something that the best players in the game never get a chance to do, that retire without ever having experience of a World Series. And I was actually in 2 of them. So I can't tell you how much, when we won the World Series in '90, all I wanted to do was come home. I wanted to see the people at home. I wanted to strut down, not down Cincinnati in a parade. I love that, but what really meant a lot to me was coming home. I wanted to strut down the streets of Cumberland, Maryland, and say, we did this. We did this. It wasn't me, it was we. And I think if you take that kind of an attitude in your life, everything will go along great. I will say, finally, I won't run on this here, you got a meeting. I've been with, what did we say, 6, 7, I've been with the Twins, the Padres, the Mets, the Reds, the Mariners, the O's, the Phillies, and even Japan. I got to tell you one thing. every one of those teams fired me. But I've yet to get fired coming home.
Give us time. We have a minute.
Yes.
Kelly, the baseball game, knew the players, knew all their names. You could see her there every day, shout hooray when they played. Her boyfriend by the name of Joe said, to Coney Isle, dear, we'll go. Then Nellie started to fret and pout, and to him I heard her shout, hey, take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Lansford, good hitting Oakland third baseman, and Myers bringing it. And the pitch is hit in the air, foul, off first, Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds. As you might expect, they pile out of the dugout. They are jumping up and high-fiving. All smiles as Lou Piniella and his coaching staff break out of the dugout. Gloves and caps all over the infield. The Cincinnati Reds have done the absolute improbable by defeating the club considered to be the best in Major League Baseball, and they've done it in a 4-game series sweep.
I've done a lot of clinics over the past several years. One of the things parents talk to me most about is having their kid throw over the top. They say they throw sidearm. How do I get him to throw over the top? I'm Sam Perlazzo from Inside Baseball and give you a little drill on how we do that. What we want to do is break this thing down into segments. Very easy, basic segments. So if your son or daughter is having a little trouble throwing overhand, we want to get the ball out here like this. We just tell them to stand like this, hold the ball out here, because that's the angle we want to throw, not from down here. You say he throws from here, but we want him to throw up here. So we'll just put your son or daughter right here like this, put the ball in their hands, and just tell them, throw the ball. So they get used to throwing the ball from this angle, not doing anything else. Then, after they master that for about 10 throws or whatever, however long it takes, we say, okay, you're going to have to step with your left foot. So we put our left foot out in front of us like this. We put our ball up in this angle, and we throw. Because that's the angle we're going to try to do it. We're going to eventually get out here. So we just set this up here, throw. Left foot's out. Okay, now we want to advance it just a little bit more in the next segment. And we say, okay, he knows he goes like this and throws. That's right. So now we're just going to do it. We're going to put it up, step, and throw now. We're going to actually step and throw. Hold the ball up, step, and throw in one motion. Now they have that very simple thing, not at a long distance. You just want to get them the feel of being able to do that. Now you're going to tell them, okay, ball's in your glove. You're going to be pull it out, step, and throw all in one motion. And then you have the entire throwing motion all done, starting from very simple step in order to show someone how to get better. They have to know what it feels like before they can learn.
All righty. Thank you. All right, item number 2 is Fair Housing Month. Now we got the main event, yeah. This is what everyone came out for tonight. Judge, you don't want to stay for this one?
Keep the excitement going, Nedved.
I'll give everyone a cheer.
No, go, yeah, go.
Thank you, sir.
Anything I can do.
Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you.
Well, you cleared this room rather rapidly, Dave.
Hey, David, hold the ball here. We're going to start with the ball up here. Wait a second.
There went his shoulder. He's done.
I was on the swim team.
He was on the drowning team.
Ned, but I thought you played in the minors a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
When he was in law school, we did.
Yes.
Law school.
Just flip it. Is that good?
You have 2 minutes, Dave. And a minute and a half gone.
Well, commissioners, yeah. Item number 2, I'm here to we're going to do the fair housing proclamation. We're going to declare April, as we do every year, Fair Housing Month, as per our Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity Plan. And at this point, I'm just asking the commissioners to read the proclamation, if you don't mind.
Yes, I think we can do that. Are we?
You have to take his picture.
Are you going to come up?
Yeah, I'll come.
Ned, but I don't know if you know what's going on or not.
Nothing really new about that.
We'll have his highlights filmed here in a minute.
Hold up here for everybody to see.
All right. This is an official proclamation. That says the Allegany County Commissioners join with the United States Housing and Urban Development Commission in celebrating 49 years of fair housing of 1968, one of the most important components of our national civil rights policy. This act guarantees that the rights of all Americans, regardless of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, or the presence of children, to live in the neighborhood of their choice. This act protects people from discrimination when they're renting, buying, or securing financing for any housing. Equal housing opportunity is essential to promote justice for all citizens in all areas of life. Therefore, we, the County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim April 2017 as Fair Housing Month in Allegany County and urge citizens to join in creating and promoting equal housing opportunities for all. Fair housing, it's your right. And this is signed all 3 County Commissioners, Creed Brody, Bill Valentine, Jake Shade. Congratulations.
Way to go, Sam.
Thank you, sir.
Don't give a speech.
Thank you, sir.
We have a video for him. All right.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you,
we have a video
commissioners.
for him.
Yeah. Wow.
Brian's even giving me a standing ovation.
It's an action montage for Nedved. All right, item number 3, moving to our action agenda. This is a collective bargaining agreement for the Sheriff's Office. Mr. Westfall.
Thank you, Mr. President, Commissioners, and no, I don't care to come up front any farther than this.
You weren't going to get invited anyway, so.
Thank you. I commend to your attention tonight the contract that we've negotiated with the sheriff, patrol, and judicial deputies. I almost hesitate to say it was not a particularly contentious negotiations this year. We weren't necessarily holding hands and singing kumbaya, but as things went, it was a fairly straightforward negotiation. I think it's a good contract. I commend it to you. I asked the sheriff if he had any, cared to have any comments. He told me no. Unfortunately, the 2 representatives from the FOP, their local president and vice president are actually downstate at an FOP conference or meeting tonight, so they are not here to sign. But I was in email communication with the president, told him that I suggested that we continue to have this on the agenda so that we had an agreement in place. We've not had a contract since last July, June 30th actually. So I think it's good that we have the agreement. And again, I recommend it to you.
Well, sir, what do you always tell us when neither party really gets what they want? It's a good contract.
It's a good contract, yeah.
Sheriff, you have nothing more to add. We're good?
No, sir, it was, as Brian said, it was just time consuming, but I don't think we had any real barriers or anything. It was just trying to get everything, squared away. And Dio would thank, Mr. Westfall for his help in providing assistance in the contract, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Westfall. All right, item number 4, we have a road opening petition. Mr. Rudd, you want to take this?
Sure. We already had the closing part of this. This went to staff for recommendation. We're recommending that it be approved. We've already had the hearing, and so it can be acted upon.
So we'll make a motion that we're
To approve it.
to approve.
Yep.
Is there a second?
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 5, this is a management service for county tourism, RFP. Mr. Barclay.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners.
Sir?
As is stated here in item number 5, Economic and Community Development staff is asking for the Commissioners' permission to advertise a RFP, request for proposals from qualified individuals to direct the day-to-day operations of the county's tourism department. And in addition to this, you've introduced items 5A and 5B that would accompany this.
Hey, Jeffrey, this RFP is for an individual. I guess what we should make known is that the county's preference at this point in time is to explore opportunities to hire somebody within the Department of Economic and Community Development as a contract employee, as an internal candidate or employee for Allegheny County, not something that's external as we have in the past with respect to a firm. So
That's
this would
correct.
be an
And
employee.
I would say in an effort of, we have new leadership in the department and in an ongoing effort of reorganization, this in no way would lock us into anything, but we're just looking to keep our minds open, and we're looking for keeping all considerations and options open for us.
Because this is quite a voluminous RFP. It covers a broad scope of acumen. And so that being said, I do believe that there's some assets that we already have internally that can be brought to play if we select the right candidate to provide management services and or leadership for the county's tourism
Absolutely.
operation. So, Commissioners, any questions?
No, do we know when the last time this was put out for bid?
That's a good question. This is before,
I think they're back in 2008
yeah,
timeframe,
Oh, wait,
so it's been a while.
okay.
This is actually the first step of bringing tourism in-house.
yes.
Very good.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. All right, are we moving on to 5A?
Okay, I'll take care of this one, sir. As to follow up on what we're looking for here in tourism, our current partner in tourism's contract expires July 1st. I think we need to extend, which will be my motion, and I'll give a brief reason why. So county tourism don't start. We have a great department. She's agreed to help transition this. I think it's a good thing because we got a lot of stuff going on in the county. We want to make sure that the new person can pick right up and continue it at the level that it's at now and help drive us forward. So with that, I'll read the motion into the record.
Please.
Thank you. The Board of County Commissioners to authorize county staff to prepare a 6-month extension with Rivers Edge Business Associates to provide management services in support of county tourism program through December 31st, 2017. And with that, I'll make a motion that we accept this motion.
Second?
I will.
Discussion.
Oh, yeah, we can have a little discussion because I'm not sure if we've reached out and agreed on their end that they would be willing to do a 6-month extension. You know, in 2015, it was my understanding when I voted for it that this would be the final 2-year contract. Now, if that's going to extend another 6 months, then, you know, I guess we're going to have to wait 10 and a half years for a competitive bid tourism to go out. So I will support it, and we'll go from there. So all in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
5B.
5B, this motion reads, the Board of County Commissioners to authorize county staff to prepare a 1-year extension agreement with the promoters of Delfest to accommodate the needs of the festival at the Allegheny County Fairgrounds for 2007. As I'm sure most people know, we created a Dell Commission. They're working through gathering information so that we hope and plan to have a much longer-term contract completed by midsummer sometime. But this just gets them in motion to, makes everything safe to have the festival that is already planned for this year.
Very good.
Good. We're happy to have them here, and I hope we can continue our relationship with them. What's the cost of the internet upgrade we're doing?
$60,000.
$60,000. So that's in the budget this year, as well as our advertising with American Airlines. Is that still going out? Yeah. Okay, good.
Fantastic.
Commissioner, do we have a motion?
I already made the
Oh,
motion.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Moving to our consent agenda, Mr. Eberle.
Commissioners, this evening I have 6 items on your consent agenda for possible action. Items number 6 and 7 are motions to declare surplus vehicles under the control of the Allegheny County Sheriff's Office and the Allegheny County Department of Public Works and authorize their disposal. Item number 8 is a motion to approve an MOU with Frostburg State University and the Allegheny County Transit Division to continue providing bus service for students throughout the community through June 30th of 2020. Item 9 is a motion to award the Prince Albert Sunnyside Water Project to Carl Belt Incorporated in the amount of $1,335,689, subject to funding agency approval, and to authorize the president to sign all necessary documents. Item 10 is a motion to award the Pond Circle Water Project to the apparent low bidder, First Fruits Excavating, in the amount of $277,979, also subject to approval of the funding agencies, and authorize the president to sign all necessary project documents. Item 11 is a motion to authorize a travel request for the Division Chief of Transit to attend an FTA workshop in Philadelphia.
Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Mr. Eberle.
Commissioners, I have prepared correspondence for your signature to the attention of Congressman John Delaney, United States Senator Ben Cardin, and the Honorable Christopher Van Hollen Jr., and it's concerning an initiative that's currently floundering in Congress, and we would like to go on the record in support of an amendment to some legislation that's currently being proposed. And if you would like, I can read this letter into the record.
If you would just say what it's pertaining to. 'Cause
Okay.
it's
Okay, Commissioners, the bill is related to an EPA appropriations bill that was passed by the House of Representatives. There was a provision to provide money for a pilot program for 6 states. And in the ranking scenario, the state of Maryland was actually the 7th state. So what we're asking is that they consider amending the state of Maryland into this program to provide some much-needed relief for some acid mine and abandoned mine land program properties. And it's a pretty good initiative, and I'd like to see if we can't take a shot at working with our local state of Maryland officials with the Bureau of Mines and trying to pull off some funding for our community.
Okay, Mr. Delaney will be in town, I believe, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All righty.
There's a consensus, sir.
All right, here they are.
That works. Anything else, Mr. Eberle?
Not this evening.
Mr. Rudd.
I have nothing. Thank goodness.
Commissioner Valentine.
Just something real quick. Number one, it's a good thing people are getting ready to get out of Annapolis. They haven't done us too terribly much harm this year, so we hope that continues over the next 2 weeks. I'd like to thank Paul for all the work he's been doing on the Dell Commission. That's moving along real well, and we'll get that up and going. And I was extremely happy to hear that, we've got Trace Atkins at the fair this year, and so far the ticket sales for that's astronomical. It's going really well, so that's all good.
All righty. Commissioner Brody.
Very good. Well, I'm going to start it by saying, boy, what a lineup on that wall over there of local heroes. I don't know of too many other people around this country that can say that. And then I'm going to hit on something that's probably going to be highly unpopular, but I don't care because I was going to say it 2 weeks ago, but I missed the meeting because I had to rush my dad to the hospital. And that's just about of what they recently did to us with banning fracking, and I don't really care what these anti-sayers say or think. It was genocide of a working class of people. This whole definition of genocide is to eradicate or get rid of, and that's just what this state decided to do. You got a state that's a county, it's 28 miles wide at its widest point. They're doing it on both sides. This county was founded on the extraction of coal. We've been doing it for better than 200 years. That's what built this industry, built this county, built this country. And now we get a couple people move in here from out of the area. They come in here and they're here for 5 or 10 years, and all of a sudden they want to destroy my heritage of what people. We are energy producers. Coal in the Georges Creek Valley, which is actually what anyone believes or thinks or nothing else, is still the major funding source of this county. Probably play out in about 30 years. Everyone's going to gas. Everyone's going to oil. We had about 250 years worth of industry because they just didn't cut out fracking. They cut out an industry. You're talking about thousands of jobs for hundreds of years and a tax base that just got eradicated or erased. So what I describe that as is the workers, is genocide of the workers. And I think that's pathetic. And then when you hear this state talk about wanting to be a sanctuary state, I thought that was all settled at the end of 1865 in Appomattox. At the end of the Civil War, that's what that war was about, state rights versus federal rights. The state, I don't know where they have that power to sit and tell the federal government we're not going to abide by your rules. Because what if we as the county said that back to the state of Maryland?
I'll go for that.
And everyone says, oh, don't say that, because these people is sitting in office now. They're only worried about one thing, staying in office. They're not worried about doing what's right. They're letting a couple people control them. If you look back to these environmental groups, because this has really been burning in me for weeks, of where their money's coming from, I really wish, if during an election, we are scrutinized to beat the band. Anyone that gets in public office, where's your money come from? And then when you look where these environmental people get their money, no one looks at that. They don't care that $20 million come from Saudi Arabia, 25 come from Russia. And I think, and they love these people because they'll go out there and they'll beat the drum and they'll kill the industry here to fund the industry over there. I really wish someone would do something about this, but it's too late now. The decision's been made. The people of the western end of this county, in Garrett County, we don't matter. A few years ago when they come in and they mandated us put a treatment plan in for ENR, BNR, they picked the poorest region in the state. They lumped them with that cost first. And that's it's been bothering me since then also. But this thing with the ban, I talk to these people that think they know what they're saying. Oh, it'll hurt the groundwater. 1,500 feet is all the deeper groundwater is. I ask them a simple question. How does a volcano work? They just look at you. I said, well, that comes out of the core. Gas is in the crust. We ain't even touched the mantle. How does stuff come up from the center? Well, that's different. Explain to me about the trench then off Puerto Rico that's 16,000 feet deep. Well, it's 14 something. That got gas coming out of it naturally. Well, they just look at you and you think, oh. They just don't want it here because they don't like the heritage of the people that built this county and built this country. And that's where I'm really having issues. So that's my thoughts tonight. Sorry.
Thank you, Commissioner.
don't do well with that, Danny. So.
All right, up we have Mr. Kenneth Wilmont.
I'm Kenneth Wilmot. I live at 513 Fort Avenue, Cumberland, Maryland. About 4 years ago, I received a letter from you, Mr. Easley, that I was not to speak on the animal shelter. And I did that up until now. I'm here. I got an official letter from you that I cannot speak on the shelter. I have as yet to receive official notice that I can speak. So I'm going to speak against whatever. The animal shelter is a joke. It has sucked up over $6 million since November of 2010, and they have nothing out there to show for it. Where is our money going? And they just recently, in the paper, we need $30,000 more to run that place. Garbage. They're not enforcing the Allegany County control on animals whatsoever. Number one, the law does not allow for a no-kill policy. It does not allow for people to give away pets. The law clearly states you either pay a $40 adoption fee or you pay for the veterinarian to neuter that animal. They're not doing any of this. The county is overrun with cats. All you gotta do is read the paper. Just like last summer, and 4 families came up and complained about the shelter. They went to the shelter. Shelter said, nothing we can do for you. People can have as many cats and dogs as they want. They can go any place they want. Because cats are a free-roaming animal. Well, I've asked those people for years to quote me the law where it says cats are free-roaming animals. The next question I got, of what value is all these feral cats running around? I estimated just in the city of Cumberland, there's 20,000 feral cats. Now, if you read the paper, Washington, D.C. just complained. They got 40,000 feral cats, and they don't know what to do with them. I know what to do with them. Just like the lady who used to run the shelter out there. It was a kill. That's nice. People's worthless cat picked up on the street. You did away with it. I cannot understand why is the taxpayer's responsibility to put every feral cat and unwanted dogs on public welfare, which is what they are doing. They're passing out food all over the city. I know people come to me and complain, what am I going to do? Lady behind me's got 15 cats. I says, go to the animal shelter. Been there. I said, then do what you want to do. I said, do like the people up in Garrett County do on black bears. You shoot, you shovel, and you shut up. That's the way it works up there. Now then, I want to read it. This is out of the Cumberland News from April 13th, 2011. This is an article on Mr. DeVore and his whatever. DeVore also suggested the inclusion of a control manager in a trap neuter release program. We would identify a cat colony, then assign a colony manager to oversee that, and basically this individual is responsible for the day-to-day care of that cat colony. Garbage. The city is overrun with these things. Nobody's doing anything. You can feed a cat all day long. Ain't going to keep them from killing everything that comes in front of it. They're natural predators. I've lost all the birds and squirrels in my backyard. Now then, let's go on with this thing.
Okay.
In program, volunteers would manage the food and control the colony, would trap male cats, and would then male cats, and then be taken to vets and neutered, as well as given vaccinations and shots. DeVore added that there is now a product available that would be added to the food that would provide temporary sterilization to the male population. So you're going to put out some kind of drug out all over the city. What's to keep other animals from drinking out of the same pot? You don't know what it does to other animals.
Mr. Wilmot, 1 minute you got left.
Can I get an extra 5?
It would be up to the board.
Well, have I already spoken 10 minutes?
No, you've used 4, but you got 1 more. Let's see if you need
Okay.
more once we get
Anyway,
there.
So according to Mr. DeVore, with that addition, you could drastically curb the reproduction cycle of these cats. In essence, if you curb that reproduction cycle, then you begin the process of controlling your feral cat production. DeVore said, although the program would help to reduce the feral cat population, realistically, it wouldn't get rid of everything. With 20,000 cats, you would have to catch at least 19,000 of them even to start reducing those cats, because they reproduce 10 times faster than human beings. It's ridiculous. It's time to put that shelter back on a basis that we had. Throw them people out of there. We just donated $500,000 to them people out there. And they're going to put in a veterinarian place, which started out as $1 million. Last time I heard was 2.5. And that's been years ago. And by the time it's finished, it'll probably be $5 or $6 million. Now then, did the sheriff get a $5 or $6 million building with a full medical clinic? That's what they're doing out there. Now then, how many young vets? How many young vets coming up out of college is going to have a chance to start the business when you people, are putting in a competition against these people? There should never be a single animal out there neutered in that place. They should all have to go to a certified veterinarian. Another thing, there hasn't been an advisory board meeting from animal control since April 19th of last year. Are you aware of that?
No?
No, sir, we weren't aware.
Well, on June 21st, that was scheduled. I was here. It was a no-show. October 18th was scheduled. It was a no-show. Checked with the guard doctor. She said, yep, we scheduled. I said, where's that? She said, I don't know. So on January the 10th, I called Mr. Dickens. He said he didn't know either, but he gave me a number to call. So I called John Wilson. Mrs. Wilson runs the board. She said there'd be another meeting on the 21st of February. 21st of February, no show. So I called her about 3 times, and last week I got her answer. She now runs her own, she makes up her own law. She's not going to have any meetings until the new animal control code comes out, one which they wrote. This is pathetic. When people think they can just run around and run that place out there, they're very well pleased. There's something has to be done. She don't have that authority just to ignore the county code. County code says it'd be quarterly. And where can people go when they have problems? That's why they came to you people last summer. It's a joke. Now then, the Air Force always taught us in supervision management, if you got a problem, come with a solution. What I suggest, you shut that place down, put it into a kill situation, get rid of all them cats, and pull in all these so-called foster homes. I got a picture of a foster home. I should have brought it. But anyway, do away with the board, because nobody wants to be on it anyway. You can't get a vet in Allegany County to serve on it.
All right.
The board manager, the manager out there, he should come here at the beginning of the month and give a full report on the financial assets and what's going on in that place. Otherwise, as you see, you didn't even know that the meetings weren't taking place. So that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Get rid of it.
Thank you, Mr. Wilmot. Thank you. All right. With that, our next public business meeting is Thursday, April 20th, 5 o'clock, right here. Thank you. Have a good evening.